Well, we made it. Interest rates are in the sevens for the first time since 1999. But still a good time to buy a house. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. Let's go. What's up, party people? Jono here with the Selling North Dallas real estate team in beautiful Frisco, Texas at the always delicious Rudy's Barbecue. Shout out to my man Jay. Let's do a market update, shall we? Now it's just me today. Holly has got her roller skates on today, so I'm gonna give you the quick and dirty on what's happening here in real estate. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications and hit the like button so that we know you're enjoying it. Interest rates just hit the sevens. 30-year fixed rate is at 7.08%. FHA at 7%. These are exciting times. So before we jump into the Selling North Dallas real estate market update tool.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
Which you're used to, I'm gonna show you a couple of articles. The media never ceases to amaze me. This article just came out. Study explores why DFW's housing market is undersupplied and overpriced. Now, in fairness to the good people at ABC, WFAA, not my news channel of preference, but that's not what we're here to talk about. In fairness to the folks at WFAA, this article came out a month ago, but you know, if you've been paying attention to our real estate market updates, you know that things really started to shift back on Mother's Day weekend back at the end of May. So thanks WFAA for letting us know that the housing market is undersupplied and overpriced. Here's another one from NBC. Realtors say the Dallas-Fort Worth housing market is starting to cool off.
Well, no shit.
This article came out last week, so again, before interest rates just took a big jump. But let's jump into the tool real quick. We are right at the balanced market. So if you've been watching the gas gauge, 50 is balanced. We're still in a seller's market, believe it or not, but some interesting things are happening. We're noticing that median list price starting to tick up just a little bit. More on that in just a second. Price per square foot leveling out. Median days on market, we were climbing, and then we leveled out for a couple of weeks, and now we're starting to come up again. Now this number, as we mentioned last week, this is the average. If you're familiar with the tool, this is the average from these different market segments. You know, so we talk about on the channel the housing market at 375 is different than the housing market at 965. So that average is what gives us this number here. But price decreases starting to level out. Price increases leveling out. Inventory starting to drop again. Median rents continually staying flat. So all of these are really good signs. The closer we can keep this number to 50, in my opinion, the better off everyone is, buyers and sellers. To use the speed limit analogy, back, you know, the first Q1, first part of Q2 of this year, we were driving 100 miles an hour down the tollway, up the tollway, depending on which direction you're going. Usually when I'm driving 100 on the tollway, I'm going north. Never mind. That was crazy. That was a ridiculous seller's market. Sellers had all the advantage, and what we found is the buyers that were participating in a market like that, they had to buy and they had to play the game. And at that time, the game was, we're gonna give you $100,000 over offer, and we're gonna name our firstborn kid after you, and we're gonna pay to clean your house for the next 6 months, and free beer and tacos for the next year, right? All these crazy, obscene offers. Well, as time progressed, here we are at the end of September, and we have slowed from 100 down to 50. Well, the speed limit at the point at which we hit a buyer's market is 30. So if the speed limit is 30 and you're driving 100, that's crazy, right? That's go to jail zone. So if you're used to going 100 and you slow down to 50, Now it feels like you're going slow, but you're still driving 20 miles per hour over the speed limit. So in this balanced market, it's best for sellers because it's a more level playing field, and it really takes a smart strategy to get your home sold. So this is the time where we mention who you hire matters and all those wonderful things. And for buyers, there's an opportunity where, again, the playing field is leveled. You can come in and wheel and deal a little bit with these sellers. The people that are selling right now are probably not passive sellers. They are active sellers, meaning they're not just, well, let's just throw the house on the market and just see what happens. There are probably some of those, but by and large, the people that are selling right now, they need to sell. They have some place else they need or want to get to, and they've got to get the home sold. The time is of the essence. Well, that's a benefit to buyers who are in this market. So you're starting to see more buyers take a passive approach, whereas 6 months ago, the buyers that were in the market, they had to buy. So they were very active and they were having to pull out all the stops. This is the best of both worlds. Now is the time to buy. Now, let's go back to mortgage interest rates for just a second. Well, why is it a good time to buy if rates are in the sevens? Well, it doesn't mean it's a good time to buy for you. But in terms of the market, it is a good time to buy because of the negotiation power that buyers have. And it really takes two to tango. So you have two interested sets of parties that get together and decide, let's create a win-win and move forward with this deal. So if you find yourself actively looking in the market right now as a buyer, your timing is much better than it was over the last, certainly year and leading up until the market tipped in May. If you're a seller right now, you are probably kicking yourself if you didn't sell your house in Q1, but there's nothing that can be done about that. If I'd only bought that Yahoo stock in 1998. What's the old saying? If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Yes, I've heard that.
Can't beat yourself up. It really is a better time right now, although you probably left some money on the table had you not sold. But you didn't know what you don't know. Nobody has a crystal ball. We only have data going backwards. Hindsight is always 20/20. So what do we do with this information right now? So at this point, if you're wondering, Jono, how do I get my hands on this nifty tool called the Selling North Dallas Real Estate Market Update Tool?
Well done, John.
It's very easy. Just drop down in the description. There's a link there. We'll email the tool out to you and you can play around looking at these different metrics. We give this away for free because we want you to have access to the data and not be limited by what we talk about here. If you want some help navigating through that, there's a phone number in there that goes straight to me. You can send us an email, or there's a form you can fill out and we'll give you a call and set up a time to visit, and let's dive into your specific situation at that time. So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned why would now be a good time to buy with rates being in the sevens? Here's the thing. If you are in the market right now, there's probably a reason for that. If you're actively in the market, maybe you're moving to Dallas, maybe it's a job transfer. Aside from the why, if you find yourself in the market right now, don't be anxious, because there's a saying that's very, very popular right now. Date the rate, marry the house.
Please explain.
If you find the property that's a good fit for where you are right now at this season of life, and you can lock up that property and go ahead and get situated, rates are going to come up and down. In fact, take a look at this graph from the good folks at valuepenguin.com. This is the historical interest rate for 30-year fixed rate mortgages from 71 to 2022. Now back here in 1981, we were at the peak, 16.64%. And what have you noticed rates doing? If you can find a property that meets your needs, don't get so wrapped up in what the rates are doing, because the rates are going to go up, they're going to come back down, they're going to go up, they're going to come back down. What do we have coming up at the beginning of 2023? Like we're coming into the midterms, halfway through Biden's reign. Almost said reign of terror. I didn't mean it that way. I don't care who you voted for. This isn't a political channel. But we know that these are tumultuous times in markets, and what happens in midterms has an effect. What the Fed does, what the GDP is doing, there's all these factors, supply and demand. There's all these factors that play into what are our interest rates doing. But if you need to buy a house right now, or you need to sell a house, or you need to get out of here and get over there, or get out of there and get over to here, make it about what's best for your family. There's probably an emotional reason that you're doing this beyond now's a good time to buy because of interest rates, or now's a good time to sell because of what the markets are doing. When it comes to your home, we're not talking about stocks. We're talking about the home that you live in. If you need to move, you need to move. So make the move that's best for your family at this season of life. And then as rates adjust to your benefit, refinance, get a better rate. In fact, we've talked about this. This just happened here recently where we had a seller, for the benefit of one of our buyers, paid to buy down our buyer's interest rate, and those opportunities do exist. Every situation is a little bit different. We would need to explore what that looks like for you, but don't get so wrapped in what the rates are, because we're only dating the rate. We're marrying the mortgage. Okay, guys, well, that does it for today. I've got a family coming in from town, from Kentucky, that I got to go meet with, show them some houses. So I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for playing. Until next time, bye, Felicia.